Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be looking into the question, what does 2025 have in store for you as far as love and romance are concerned? There are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the clear quartz. Group 2 is the firestone. And group 3 is the blue calcite. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. You chose the clear quartz. So let's see, what does 2025 have in store for you as far as the energies of love and romance are concerned? Okay, so the first card that we have is the Seven Star Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life and Expression. So it feels like you may have multiple options coming in as far as love and romance is concerned, which if you're single, this can equate to a very full dance card. A lot of secret admirers coming forth, a lot of attention that you may be getting through efforts to sort of change something about your appearance, invest in a glow up, physically or in terms of just sort of your habits and your routine, even work that you've been doing internally or physically to kind of change things about yourself that are coming into full bloom. They're being recognized. You're being admired for this up-leveling that has taken place. It feels to be something where there may be a lot of opportunities to sort of have talking stages, getting to know people, situationships, if that's the kind of thing that you're looking for, but it also feels that out of the many candidates that will come forth and sort of present themselves to you, that there is also the opportunity to birth some substantial relationships or people that are like realistic options for somebody that you would be interested in settling down with into a long-term connection. We also have You Got the Love, Hadrian Energy, Codependency, and Boundaries. So again, this speaks to the idea of you may be in high demand in 2025, the energy of personal magnetism at an all-time high, where rather than kind of, sitting around and maybe wondering when is love going to find you, when is romance going to find you, this is going to be the energy here of you needing to use your discernment or kind of fend people off, shoo people away, almost getting perhaps too much attention at times that could be very different from what you were used to previously, that again can be very reflective of work that you have done even just internally as far as your healing and abundance journey is concerned, that this is reflecting outwardly in terms of a change in the general frequency and vibration that you are giving off. This is also the energy here, though, of the possibility of past people returning, even people that you might not necessarily consider as options or that you would ever kind of give the time of day to again, may sort of pick up on this frequency, hear things about you from the grapevine. If they've been observing on social media, may kind of get the courage to step forward and, try to present themselves as viable options for you at this stage in your existence. Or if you were in kind of like back and forth cycles with people that you had to kind of put boundaries in place for, or you've sort of gone through the process of detaching yourself from these individuals energetically or actually, it feels like efforts that you've invested in, that you'll continue to invest in 2025, may bring some of these people out of the woodwork, where you're really going to have to practice what you were preaching as far as not giving them access to this new you, keeping them as spectators in your life, or maybe even an opportunity for you to finally get some peace or create vindication for yourself, through turning them away, through being the one to kind of reject anybody that is sort of not a fit for the version of yourself that you have become, that you've up-leveled into, or that does not demonstrate that they themselves have been invested in kind of like healing or changing their life in some kind of positive or substantial way, and you've decided that they just are not suitable to be companions with you on the next phase of your journey in life. We also have Mahavatar Babaji, soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. So there's an opportunity to maybe go on some blind dates, network with people, kind of like friend of a friend that might be viable options for you sort of energy. So out of the people that you may meet or that might present themselves as kind of romantic prospects, some of these people, might have kind of realistic potential as far as someone you'd like to date or get to know. Other of these individuals, there could be friendship that develops, and these individuals could also sort of provide themselves as a conduit or kind of a bridge between sort of you and someone else that they know. Like if it doesn't work out with someone that you meet or start talking to, they may have a colleague, they may have a friend, they may have a relative that would be a better fit for kind of who you are or what it is that you are looking for. So it feels like overall there's the opportunity to have a lot of fun, get a lot of attention, maybe with no strings attached, or something to just kind of like help to boost your self-esteem. If you've been in hermit mode, you've been investing in yourself, or you've been trying to pick up the pieces and kind of move forward with your life in the aftermath of a heartbreak, it feels like 2025 is really going to be the year where you're going to see that demonstration of, more people kind of coming towards you with offers of love and romance. All types of people that you would say no to right away, people that you get to know, that it just turns out you're not a fit with them, and also people as well that have something to offer that are reasonable choices to consider. So it feels like overall so far with what's come through, there's the potential for like long-term connections that could be built, but it feels mostly for 2025, this is going to be a year where you're having a lot of fun. You're kind of just getting out there and experiencing life, which may also be very refreshing in the aftermath of a heavy experience, romantically speaking, or again, a time where you've kind of been very sort of self-directed, self-focused, isolated even, like not a lot going on as far as love and romance. You may need this kind of transitional period of just sort of spreading your wings and flying, sort of seeing what that is like to encounter people on a romantic level, or people that have crushes, people that have interest in you, without kind of diving headfirst into anything sort of intense or serious, emotionally speaking. We also have Horus, cosmic gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. So it feels like 2025 is the year that is going to change everything for you as far as whatever the trend has been in your life up to this point in time, romantically speaking. Either it's a higher caliber of individual that presents themselves to you and that you are able to vet out, and therefore the experiences that you have in the talking stages, in the casual dating stages, or anything that develops into more of a serious connection with an individual, it feels like it'll be a lot different than anything that you've known before, because you've raised that standard within yourself. You've captured your own value back and increased it in some manner. And the lessons maybe that you've learned, red flags you'd overlooked in the past, you're now going to be able to kind of exercise that discernment, that wisdom from past mistakes, and to be able to sort of steer clear of repetitions of cycles or lessons that have been learned, which it feels like will fast track you throughout the course of the next year to this place where it's going to be less of sort of like people that you're going to have to just pass by, and more of the energy of people that actually have something to offer, something substantial, something different than what you're used to. Not a bunch of people wasting your time, but people that you could see yourself seriously investing with, or that in some way create more of a positive experience or an impact for you as far as interpersonal relationships with romantic overtones. We also have the Oracle's gift. So it feels that you will definitely be viewed as the prize in 2025. So any kind of previous cycles that you'd been in where you were chasing love, you were begging for love, you were kind of needing to work on your sense of self, or, you know, even kind of abandonment wounds within that might have caused you to settle, you know, for breadcrumbing, or like low vibrational people sort of putting up with things that, you know, you didn't need to put up with, that were kind of below your standard, maybe out of loneliness or codependency, or just anything that you've been working on in the recent past, as far as your attachment style or inner wounding. All of that, you've successfully kind of transcended something. You've understood maybe your own sort of inner workings or inner wounds. And so this is something that even that knowledge of self, even like an active practice that you are involved in, changing your mindset, changing your approach to things, instead of just like a woe is me attitude, or, you know, turning into something very pessimistic, the ways in which you've chosen to be very proactive and maintain like an open heart, an open mind. You know, you continue to look towards the future as an opportunity to experience something very different than everything that you've known in the past. This has successfully and will continue to successfully kind of amplify your frequency in a very positive way, where you're calling in a higher caliber of potential partner and potential mates. So it feels like something that in the course of 2025, you may encounter someone that has the makings of true love. It feels to be something, though, that despite the fact that there's the energy of a lot of options, if there's anything that turns out to be sort of, you know, maybe for some of you, you'll be meeting the one, or someone that could turn into like a very positive and healthy experience in terms of long-term partnership, there's not a sense here of rushing into anything. This isn't like love at first sight, whirlwind romance sort of energy. It's almost like you're keeping your options open. You're stepping back emotionally speaking, not getting as attached to people as quickly, and really kind of giving other people the opportunity to prove to you, what do they have to bring to the table that adds to the measure of your life? What do they have to contribute that to the peace and the abundance that you've created inside of yourself, which may be a stark contrast to how you had approached love and romance before. And it feels like this strategy, or this kind of effort to cultivate this sort of mindset within yourself, it very successfully yields you healthier potential partners and better experiences as far as romance is concerned, or even situations where you meet people and like that didn't work out, or it wasn't what you were looking for. It's almost like you have the ability to bounce back from that a lot more quickly than you might have previously, which keeps that momentum going, where you're able to move in a more streamlined way towards that true and substantial love. We also have imperfect harmony. Yeah, so again, that energy of like the music and the instrument here, your dance card is likely to be very full during 2025. A lot of people that you may be having to reject, or be very selective as far as like who you're giving your time to. It's not sort of just like, okay, the first person that comes along and I'm going to give them a chance. You know, you may have multiple people at once kind of vying for your attention, presenting their best foot, what they have to sort of give to the situation. And so it feels like something that will provide you with a lot of sense that whatever you've been through up to this point in time that might have motivated you to sort of take your power back as far as any heartbreak is concerned, or any trends or patterns that you had noticed from your romantic past. And like as you've sought to course correct that for yourself, working on yourself and kind of just moving beyond any sort of energy of like, you know, wallowing or hurt or despair, and trying to focus on abundance and sort of create that set for yourself in a variety of ways, you're going to really look back at the end of 2025 and see how successful that strategy that you may have had in place recently, this last year, over the last several years, how it finally paid off. Like 2025 feels to be that year where, you know, you're coming out in that glow up energy. You're not just sort of recovered from any sort of distress or you know, emotional kind of turbulence that you've been through. There's almost a sense of a profound timeline shift within yourself and within your life that opens the door to an entirely new caliber of romantic potentials for you. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name of you or someone involved in the situation, or could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We have O, U, R, V, N, N, X, Q, C, W A D L S Y W and L. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Firestone. So let's see, 2025, what do the energies of love and romance look like for you? Okay, the first one we have is loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, destiny, addiction, let God in. So this is the energy of reconciliation, somebody that you've been in a no contact situation with, maybe a prolonged period of silence with you and an individual. It feels like this is the year where you're finally able to break the ice with one another, create some sort of peace where you're able to move forward and reconnect with one another on a deeper level, someone that may have needed to work on certain things within themselves that had been wedges or obstacles in the connection in the past, maybe things you needed to work on, or you both needed to work on some things within your lives and needed the time apart separately in order to be able to do the most thorough job at sort of dealing with these things individually. You're now in a place in both of your journeys where the doors of love are able to be opened between the two of you, and it feels like the chances of success in the long-term sense for the connection are higher than they may have been in the past, which can help the two of you to appreciate the necessity of any turbulence that you've gone through, any ups and downs within your situation, where it's not just kind of getting back into the same cycle you were embroiled with one another once upon a time, or maybe many once upon a times with this individual, but it's almost the sense of breaking free of some kind of karmic loop or patterns within your own life is the key to kind of unlocking a different sort of cycle between the two of you. There's also the possibility of someone from the past that you were in a no contact situation with returns to offer you that sort of apology that is owed, or to even maybe try to get back together with you, but you've done the internal work and they haven't perhaps. And so this may be your opportunity to kind of finalize that cycle with this individual and move on in your life, allow them to move on in their life with kind of a weight alleviated from you. Anything you may have even been subconsciously sort of holding around that was a block or a barrier to letting new love in. It feels like this is the year where you're able to really kind of close that out one way or another with someone that has been kind of, again, like a weight upon your heart, or like a really bad heartbreak, or somebody that you may have kind of resonated with as like a deep soul connection, but you've been in the frustrating experience of there's this spark, there's this chemistry, but we just can't seem to make it work in the material sense. This feels to be the year where there's actually some forward progress, no matter what that outcome looks like, in a very positive and beautiful direction for you. We also have cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Yeah, so again, here's the energy of breaking the ice, the silence between the two of you alleviated and lifted. Something that demonstrates that it is not just a repetition of sort of what you've been in with this individual before. They may have hit rock bottom in their life and had some kind of an awakening, something that necessitated them to change everything about their reality. And so somebody that you could have resonated with before as kind of a reflection of distortions maybe that you needed to work on inside of yourself, or even things that this individual needed to work on, again, privately and individually. It's almost like they've had some kind of breakthrough for some of you, and they're able to finally offer you the type of love that you are wanting, that you're worthy of receiving. They're able to match your frequency in a consistent way that'll help you understand kind of why it couldn't have worked out before. So it's a sense of, for some of you, kind of the return of someone that was the individual that was right person, wrong time, only now the situation is better. You've created better for yourselves within each of your lives. The stars have aligned, and they either kind of actively seek you out. Maybe you feel inspired to seek them out. There could be chance meetings or, any kind of like serendipity that's involved in the two of you crossing paths with one another, that can really represent like a fresh start, an entirely new layer of your journey with one another towards more harmony and peace, because you've up-leveled in some way. You shed versions of yourselves that were not truly aligned with one another. Or it's the sense of somebody from your past who has hit their rock bottom, is going through that awakening, that dark night of the soul, and may come forth to you with the essence of, I finally see the error of my ways. I understand how I mistreated you or took you for granted. And it may be that final bit of closure that you've needed to truly, if this is somebody that you wouldn't take back, or they're not at a place where they're demonstrating sort of quick enough change in their life to align with sort of your needs and wants emotionally, or where you're at in your path, if it just sort of instinctually feels that you'd be regressing to kind of open the door to this person again, then there's a sense of you get that final bit of closure that allows you to truly move forward in a fresh direction without kind of the burden or the heaviness of the memory that had been experienced with this individual in the past, or any frustration that you might have felt as far as, are they ever going to come back in and say they're sorry? Is there ever going to be some closure? Will they ever take accountability for their actions? There's a sense here of something that is communicated that presents sort of regret on an individual's part that frees you up to make profound leaps and bounds forward in 2025 towards intersecting perhaps in 2025 or even in 2026 with the type of sort of high vibrational connection that you really are seeking, the type of reciprocity that you need and want and desire in your life. We also have charity, prayer, and contemplation. Connect with heaven, ask, and you shall receive. So again, somebody that may be coming in with an apology, seeking mercy and compassion from you for their actions in the past. Somebody who has seen the error of their ways and is in some stage of trying to rebuild their life, who has needed to kind of shed a version of themselves. And it'll vary for everyone kind of what phase of that recreation process they are at within themselves and within their reality, and if what they have to offer, or even kind of the transfigured version of this person, does this align with who you are now? For some people, this can be that miracle that you've been hoping for, this kind of blessing that you've been praying for. Finally, it is time for you and someone that you may consider to be your counterpart, your twin flame, a soulmate, something like that. It's finally time. It is that destined hour where the two of you then reconnect with one another and move forward with your lives. This might also be, again, though, kind of that essence of you are able to reconnect with someone very directly and maybe shed the illusion that you had of them, or the memories that you had attached to this person, because you're able to see the reality of them in the here and now. And perhaps something inside of you says the essence of who they were before, the experience of them before, or the version of me that I was before when I was dealing with them in the past may have aligned, or I might have thought that was what I wanted, but I've changed and evolved. Perhaps they've changed and evolved, but they've grown in a different direction, or they haven't changed quickly enough. They are no longer in alignment with sort of what you're looking for, what you're seeking, what you're wanting. You're able to see them with fresh eyes because you've done that sort of healing work and that personal growth work that allows you to really fully sort of release the idea of this person, or any sort of resentment and bitterness that you've been holding on to, which allows that vibration of like a healthy, high capacity love to come and find you, because you're not holding on to, kind of that balled up energy of whatever had happened with this individual in the past. We've also got Kuthumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. So some of you may have been getting signs, confirmations, your spidey sense letting you know that like someone from the past is returning. It may even be somebody that you've been in like an on again, off again cycle with, and like clockwork, they always come back around at the same kind of predictable juncture in time after you've been separate from one another. This can be that opportunity for those of you that have been in like a round and round experience. 2025 almost feels like the time where you take your power back from that situation. You cut this person off. You're not inviting them back into your life. You're non-responsive to them as opposed to participating in that cycle that is maybe in the past or repeatedly kind of gotten your hopes up only to let you down, and then you're left picking up the pieces. This can be that opportunity to really be the one that sort of steps into that leadership position. And for those of you that aren't interested in reconciling, that you put an end to this once and for all so that you are freed to go forth in your life journey. This person is freed to go forth on their own kind of individual path and journey. And it may be sort of that final bit of closure that you need that then sets the stage for, at whatever time this happens in 2025, that allows you to then sort of nurture yourself or immerse yourself in the fullness of your own energy without kind of this unfinished symphony with this person or kind of this fragment that has been left behind over anything that has been unsettled, any unfinished business with this individual. It almost feels to be something you're able to put closure to that, which really does wonders as far as like raising your frequency, getting you entirely, in the present and forward focused, which allows you to then sort of be in the proper vibration to be able to decipher and to receive and to fully interact with and engage with and participate with somebody new that may come along kind of after this experience of someone trying to come back into your life, and you're the one that sort of shuts the situation down. That might be kind of what you need in order to step into that sort of new timeline for yourself, romantically speaking, that brings in a different kind of experience as far as love is concerned for you. We also have a burst of magic. So there is also the energy, of kind of miracles and magic, and somebody that you might have thought you'd never hear from again. You never thought they would change. You'd given up hope, or maybe you detached from the situation and just sort of moved on with your life, and kind of like a Hail Mary pass at the 11th hour, they come in. They come in telling you not just what you want to hear and they are empty words, but this is somebody who has truly transformed. They've gone through their own process of metamorphosis and are deeply aligned with the full potential of sort of what you might have seen within this person in the past, but that was distorted in some way by wounds or different kind of karmic cycles that they themselves needed to free themselves from. Something where you as well may have needed that sort of time apart from this individual, almost like you got a preview of one another, and then going off to sort of do your own internal work, learn some lessons, break free of certain habits and patterns, and sort of develop new and healthier coping mechanisms, or sort of life skills, or just whatever that's involved for you and this individual, to where there's the essence of like a reconnection between the two of you. It's not just a repeat of the old cycles or things that you've experienced with previous partners. It's almost the sense of like, okay, now we have this opportunity to, experience sort of the richness of what love can be in a general sense, and also more of the full experience of what that love could be like with one another. We also have a grand symphony. So this is the energy of like happily ever after. You finally get that happily ever after with that special person that you've held in your heart, maybe for a while, or whatever the nature of your kind of journey and experience is, or has been with one another, that it's almost like music to your ears. Whatever they present, whatever they are saying, and that they are accompanying with actions, it's everything that you'd hope for. It's everything that you knew that this person was possible of kind of achieving or reaching within their life, that may mirror very precisely things that you've needed to kind of shed as far as outdated versions of yourself and stepping into a different sort of reality. 2025 can definitely be that energy of like, okay, it's wedding bells. It's sort of, the closing credits on a huge saga filled with drama between you and this person. And then you get to start that sort of new movie together that's, romance, a romantic comedy, as opposed to something that might have been a little more sort of treacherous or drama filled. It's turning the page in a very profound way in your life with a special somebody. This can also, though, be the energy of you get that final bit of closure from someone that has just really been a thorn in your side, or was kind of like the worst heartbreak, something where you're able to see someone from the past clearly for who they are in the here and now. You're able to take them off that pedestal and really just absorb them as they are in the present moment compared to who you've become in the present moment. And there's an energy of detachment that again frees you up to find your forever person, to come into alignment with that deep and true love that you've been seeking. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name of you or somebody in this situation, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got N, E, I, H, U, R, X, C, C, G, F, L, S, I, P, W, W, and V. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. Chose the blue calcite. So let's see, 2025, what do the energies of love and romance look like for you? So the first one we have is We the Hathors, Deep Love, Mother's Milk, Birth as a Portal. So it feels like 2025 will be the year where there is a blossoming new romance, or a deepening of the layer of love and trust and closeness between you and somebody that you may have on your mind, that is in your heart, that you've been on a journey with up to this point in time. This can definitely be the energies of engagements or marriages, moving in together, becoming very serious with somebody, or somebody who presents themselves to you that has a lot to offer, that is able to reciprocate the nurturing kind of love that you have been providing to others. Maybe all the love you've been pouring into the wrong people, sending out in the wrong directions, comes back to you in the form of somebody who has waited their entire life to meet someone like you. So this definitely can represent that 2025 is sort of the year that your luck changes as far as love and romance is concerned, or any sort of uncertainty that you've experienced with somebody that you've been dealing with up to this point in time. There's clarity that gives you hope for the future. It's somebody who pulls you closer rather than sort of pushes you away. They're investing more of themselves into the situation that puts to rest any sort of fears that you've had as far as like, are they even interested? What's their level of commitment? Where do they see this situation 6 months down the road, a year down the road, 10 years down the road? So this can be the year where there's like deep conversations, long-term plans that are made, or again, somebody that you encounter, or a new layer of a person you've been dealing with that is revealed that presents them as a very viable candidate for you as far as that long-term partnership you may have been seeking. We also have, you got the Love, Hadrian energy, codependency, and boundaries. So this is again the energy of like people sort of opening up about things emotionally speaking. You could have somebody like a secret admirer that comes forth and sort of presents themselves, and it turns out that they are a viable option. They're the type of person that you're looking for. The vibe is right. You're getting along with one another. And so things move forward out of this energy of just meeting somebody for the first time and then deepening the connection as the year progresses. This can also be somebody that you've been in an ongoing maybe situationship with. that reveals deeper feelings for you, so the situation advances in that capacity, or somebody maybe you've been in an on again, off again relationship with, or you've just been dealing with already up to this point in time. They're taking down the walls around their heart. They're expressing to you a deeper level of affection than they have been able to do before. They've seen the light in some sort of way, or are being shown the light and are recognizing you as worth the investment. Kind of the sense of like, if they don't act, they're going to miss out. If they don't do something to sort of push the situation forward, then they run the risk of being left out in the cold, or you outgrowing them in some sort of way. So if you set ultimatums with anyone, or you've been trying to kind of get to the heart of the matter, like, how do you feel about me? What do you see as our future? What do you intend to do in this situation? 2025 is definitely the year where you could get that answer. And for a lot of you, it feels like it'll be very positive. It'll be very reassuring that you weren't just wasting your time, that it was a good idea to give this person a chance or welcome this person back into your reality. We also have Saint Germain, karma releasing, move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. So this can speak about the karmic energies of indecision most specifically. So someone that might have been very fearful of commitment, they have been working on this within themselves and are now able to take more of a leap of faith with you, or they provide something that even kind of alleviates almost a karmic pattern within yourself that might have been fearful of rejection, fearful about, am I just getting myself into the same sort of situation I've been in the past, where there's feelings, there's seemingly reciprocity, and then things fall apart, or if you've been like ghosted or kind of left behind by people who've sort of run from you in the past. This is a sense of almost that experience coming to an end and being replaced with a good karmic cycle, something that sort of gives you hope and reassurance that you are truly making advancements as far as like your romantic life is concerned. Anything that you've sought to kind of heal and work on within yourself, maybe the idea of the codependency, or anything that has caused you to kind of participate in lower vibrational connections with different people, all of that seems to be very effectively working. Even ways in which you've tried to sort of work things out, or again, like provide ultimatums to somebody that you've been dealing with, they've taken that to heart, and it feels like for a lot of you really stepping up to the plate to prove that they are invested in this, maybe even heart-to-heart conversations where they're expressing fears. They're opening up and being very vulnerable with you to where you're able to manage and kind of change your expectations at the pace at which things develop. They provide you enough sort of words and actions of reassurance that let you know, hey, I'm invested in this in a long-term sense, but we need to move kind of slowly because I'm working around some sort of wounds. I'm trying the best that I can here. I'm making the effort. And it feels like it's something that helps to kind of bring a lot of healing into a situation with you and somebody, or a lot of healing into your heart in general, because there's a sense of you've progressed beyond some sort of stagnation. You're not just stuck in a loop. You're not just stuck in a karmic pattern. You've essentially freed yourself from that, or you have the ability to work with someone for the two of you to sort of free each other or hold each other's hands while you free yourselves from any sort of wounding or triggering that has come up in the course of your dealings with one another. We also have Dijwal Cool, Dharma unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. Yeah, so this is the idea of baby steps towards that kind of desired destination. So somebody that may have been kind of an avoidant attachment style, or kind of like fearful of commitment, they have gotten the message, or it's becoming very apparent to them. They need to present or do something different, or else they run the risk of being left behind. Kind of your patience is running out. A sense of, whatever kind of chemistry or potential that you've had between one another. This is the person that you're dealing with who comes to the understanding and actually acts in a positive way that is beneficial to the connection, to try and keep that fire between the two of you going, to work with you beyond any sort of obstacles that have arisen within the situation. Someone who recognizes you as that 10 of Pentacles, that 10 of Cups, that destined connection, that you are the treasure. You are the prize. You are too rare to risk losing. And so it feels like something that your love life in general takes a very positive turn. in that direction of, whatever happily ever after looks like for you, you are not just one little step closer to that by the end of 2025. It's almost kind of like through a bunch of little steps, you've managed to go miles beyond what you thought was possible or where you thought you would be. Like starting at 2025 and then the end of 2025, it feels like a lot has changed in a very beautiful way. A deepening of a connection between you and an individual or somebody new that comes in, that kind of presents you and provides you with everything that you've been hoping for, everything that you've been looking for. Somebody who treats you right, somebody who respects you, somebody who acknowledges your emotional needs and responds accordingly. Kind of the makings of that ideal partnership, but not in like an idealized fashion, something that's actually healthy, that's actually down to earth and realistic, and yet has all of those elements of like a fated or a destined connection to it. We also have a powerful move. So yeah, this can definitely be the year of engagements, marriages, higher levels of commitment, feelings revealed even for the first time from someone that turns out to be your forever person, your future spouse. A very positive experience as far as long-term commitment is concerned, that this is the year that sort of the tables turn in your favor. Luck favors you. Fortune is on your side as far as love and romance is concerned, that can help you to kind of see where all the struggles in the past were almost worth it. This feels like the year that will really help you to understand why it couldn't have worked out with other people. If it's someone new coming into your life, or even someone you've been in a relationship with, maybe you've had some back and forth, you've had some ups and downs, you've been trying to work through things. This almost feels to be the year where all the stops are pulled out and there's some kind of grand display, gesture, or evidence that is indisputable that you needed to go through this process, or kind of like every closed door that you've encountered up to this point in time was just preparation for this stage in both of your lives, or this particular point in time, to have all of your expectations of love defied in the best possible way. All those experiences that, broke your heart, that you needed to sort of pick up the pieces from, that created distortions within you, or made you very kind of pessimistic or skeptical of the power of love as a healing and beautiful and positive force. All of those things, it feels like, are obliterated. They are cast aside. And what you are experiencing, what you're shown, what you're left with in 2025 is this very rejuvenated experience of love, this very restorative experience of love, something that really helps you to, kind of again, appreciate everything that has been, sort of a negative experience previously, because you're getting ready to encounter or to, in real time, sort of experience with another person something that is very positive, something that is beyond your expectations, beyond what you thought was possible, beyond what someone was capable of. Like if you saw the idea of long-term commitment with someone, they may actually surprise you and reveal deeper feelings or like more serious intentions for you than you had thought. This is somebody who can, surprise you at any point in time with their ability to be vulnerable and honest about kind of what's going on with them emotionally, to work with you if they've been sort of resistant to the connection up to this point in time. Something that helps you to understand that you're not just in this alone, but that there's like a true partnership that is being forged, or that it's somebody who is understanding and taking the steps necessary to really fight for this connection, fight through any fears within themselves, and fight to make sure that you know that you are seen and cherished and appreciated. And we also have roots of abundance. Yeah, so this is definitely that 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups energy. This is the year where that happens. You either lay a foundation with someone that turns out to be that 10 of Pentacles, that 10 of Cups, that future spouse, your forever person, maybe in, 2026 or in a kind of a year beyond that. Or it's the sense of you take a substantial step with someone that you've been interacting with up to this point in time. You've had some sort of back and forth. Maybe they had some things they needed to work on. They had to lose you in order to be able to truly appreciate you. 2025 is the year where they come in and they're ready to invest in this. They're ready to lay down a proper foundation with you. They're ready to work with you in order to ensure the long-term growth and potential for success within a connection with you. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name of you or someone involved in the situation, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got Y, H, V, M, C, O, T, S, P, D, U, R, P, R, E, M, and B. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.